40 games have come and gone, and now the Gatemen find themselves back in the playoffs for the second consecutive season. Tonight, Wareham hosts the very team that knocked it out of the postseason a year ago. Cotuit won the season series against Wareham this year, but that doesn't matter anymore. Best of three, first to two, and it all starts tonight. It's game one between the Gatemen and the Kettleers. Welcome inside our broadcast booth alongside Corey Miller. I'm Josh Richardson. It's a beautiful night here at Spillane Field. Perfect for baseball, perfect for postseason action.
You couldn't ask for much more than this, especially if you're the Gatemen faithful. This is the first time they've been able to pack the stands here at Spillane Field since 2019 for a home playoff game. This is a really talented team they'll get to watch tonight, and hopefully this is just the first round for Wareham and they can start to build some momentum and maybe make a championship run.
And Corey, in a matchup like this against Cotuit, the Kettleers won the season series 3-2, pair of walk-offs for them as well, so definitely some close matchups between these two teams for a majority of this season, and in a game like this, you need your ace, which is why Wareham's turning to right-handed pitcher Josh Butler from Arizona State.
That's exactly right, a guy who pitched against Cotuit not too long ago, 2 innings, no earned runs. Didn't have his most sharp stuff, but overall was a good outing. Only went the 2 innings intentionally as Wareham was trying to get him set for this first postseason start. But you really need Butler to have a big game on the mound. This is why he's starting those second lowest ERA in the league. Season-long 6 innings pitched, the highest of any Gateman starter this summer against Falmouth earlier in the summer. All in all, a great pitcher.
Butler as a whole against Cotuit this season, 5 innings, 3 hits, no runs, 2 walks, and 4 strikeouts. That is what you need from Josh Butler day in, day out. And to get that against Cotuit throughout the regular season, hopefully he can continue that into the playoffs. The Cotuit lineup trying to beat him. It starts with the lefty Camden Johnson playing third base. Ryan Farber, the switch hitter, at shortstop. He bats second. Caden Bogenpole at third and center field. Zahn Von Schlegel hits cleanup, the designated hitter. Least amount of appearances against the Gatemen this summer, but he's capitalized 3 for 4. Nolan Stevens in the 5. He plays right field. Jack Natilli, the catcher, at 6. And then rounding out the lineup, Landon Beaver, Luke Matthews, and Taggart Tyson. That's a pretty good Kettleer team that has really given Wareham some trouble throughout the course of this year, Corey.
It is, and the problem is up and down. There's so many different ways and players that can beat you, and especially when you consider if you're Josh Butler, you're not going to have a lot of platoon advantages, a bunch of lefties in this Cotuit lineup.
4 lefties and a switch hitter. And so that top of the lineup for Butler, he'll have to go against 3 from the left side. It starts with Camden Johnson. On the summer against Wareham, he's 3 for 20 with 5 strikeouts. First pitch, down the middle for strike 1, and we're underway at 6:17. Game 1 of the divisional round between the Gatemen and the Kettleers. Wareham finished the season 20-20. Cotuit 17-20-3. Chopper foul down the first baseline, out of play. And even with that, Corey, 3 games under 500, certainly not a Kettleer team that you can take for granted.
No, when you look at their run differential, it's the best run differential in the West Division, second best across the whole Cape behind Harwich. So the win expectancy certainly did not match up what their actual record was.
Fouled off again.
And so this is a good sign if you're Josh Butler, like I said, against Cotuit on the 1st of August. 2 innings pitched, 1 hit, 2 walks. He didn't have his sharpest stuff, but again, no earned runs. And so they backed up, delayed the start time 15 minutes, and still he's fired 3 strikes early on. So a good sign that he's locating early.
Over to first, that's fair. Down the line and past McHugh. Johnson rounds first, he's on his way to second. He'll get there easily with a stand-up leadoff double.
And after getting ahead 0-2, that's the last thing you want as a pitcher in Butler. That ball just managed to stay fair and just managed to elude the reach of Chris McHugh down that first base line. And a really good start for Cotuit. Down 0-2 in the count. For Johnson to be able to get an extra base hit for the heart of this order due up next is a good start.
And look, 3rd time's the charm. He had fouled 2 off down the first base line that were just to the right of the line. Stayed back and ripped it past McHugh. So a leadoff double for Johnson. And now Ryan Farber steps up to bat. First pitch. Back up the middle, over to the shortstop, Ramirez. Toss over to first in time.
Where that ball was hit, thought maybe for a second that Ramirez would have an opportunity to go to third, have a play on Johnson, but it was hit too far up the middle for really that possibility. Good awareness by Johnson to get 90 feet away. A good bounce back pitch for Josh Butler to get his first out of the night. Clean play. Now we'll see what he can do against Bogenpol. The Gateman will concede a run, it looks like here. Butler trying to strand him, though.
Bogenpol this summer, 242, 780 OPS, had 3 home runs for the Kettleers. Not a team that hits the long ball very often, just 16 on the summer. They keep it in play, but they can rattle off hits. When you look at it overall, top 3 team in the league offensively, but also a top 3 team in terms of pitching as well. Really the complete package, and the run differential supports that. 1-1, swing and a miss.
And that's why this matchup is so intriguing, because you have 2 teams over the course of the summer that are top of the league in offense and top of the league in pitching. Sure, they had their rough stretches at different times on both sides, but overall, 2 complete teams.
Just inside. Bogenpol back to even 2-2. And when you look at it overall, Corey, a majority of these games between the 2 teams have been low scoring. 2-1 Cotuit win, 16-9 Gateman win, 4-2 Gateman win, 2-1 Cotuit win, 3-2 Cotuit win. Fly ball, shallow center field. Yost is under it. Johnson's ready to tag. Catch, throw home. Is a bullet from Yost, and Johnson has to stay at third. Camden Johnson leads Cotuit with 18 steals. He can certainly run with the best of them, but not on Hayden Yost's left arm.
I mean, maybe if it's the 9th inning, Cotuit risks it if they're down by a run or the game's tied, but in the first inning, you're not trying to run into a double play to end the top half of the first. What a job by Butler to get that shallow fly ball, and Yost obviously just a one-hop seed. Did Drew Rogers tap Josh Butler on the back after that, 1 out away from a scoreless first.
Strike 1 on Zahn von Schlegel. Overall, for the Kettleers, 410 average, 965 OPS. He's played in just 11 games, but he's certainly made his mark for Cotuit. And now a chance to put the Kettleers up 1-0 early. 0-1, just misses away.
Von Schlegel and Landon Beaver, the 7th, they're 2 guys that spent the majority of the summer in other collegiate summer leagues, but really exceeded in both of their respective leagues, brought into Cotuit and made it much easier for them to replace some of the departing offensive bats.
1-1, breaking ball, strike 2 on the outside corner. Yeah, when you look at the Kettleer team that started the season, Jaron Advincula, PJ Moutsouridis, second base, shortstop. Advincula led Cape Cod in batting average last summer. Not a weapon for the Kettleers now. 1-2. Breaking ball just misses high. That's Chris Engstrand calling the balls and strikes. Joe Gravina down the first baseline. Jim Fonseca over at third.
That was a nice breaking ball from Butler. He's got that low to mid-90s fastball, breaking ball, off-speed pitch that he'll work in off of that, and we've seen some crisp breaking balls so far.
Full count. Nolan Stevens, the right fielder, stands on deck. Von Schlegel done damage against the Gateman. He's 3 for 4 this summer. Played in just the 2 most recent contests. Both ended in Kettleer wins. Payoff. Ground ball to second, Braden Randall. In time. Leadoff double for the Kettleers, but Cotuit leaves them stranded. Home half of the first coming up, and the Gatemen trying to get some runs on the board. Cotuit began the game with a lead-off double 2 groundouts and a flyout, left that runner stranded. We're still scoreless with the Gateman coming up to bat for the first time. On the mound for the Kettleers, Max Haug, the righty from GW. Somebody who struggled a little bit against the Gateman, but since he's turned to a starter, one of the better pitchers in this Kituitt roster.
1.56 ERA since he was put into the rotation on July 12th. ERA as a whole is at 4.30. He's not a big strikeout guy, but that allows him to go deep into games. Very similar to Josh Butler because of that efficiency. He's got a mid to low 90s fastball, 2 breaking balls, a 12-6 curveball, and a slider off of that. A lot of times he likes to work the fastball low in the zone at the knees and then go from there.
He's pitched just once against the Gatemen this season. He went in an inning and a third, 2 hits, 3 runs, all of them earned with 2 walks and 2 strikeouts. So certainly some optimism that the Gatemen can get to him today. And that Wareham offense starts with Braden Randall penciled into that leadoff spot for what seems to be just about every single game this season. He's followed by Chris Ramirez, the shortstop, and Chris McHugh, the first baseman. 4, 5, 6, Cruson, McDonald, Turner. And rounding out the lineup, Yost, Jack Cale, and Drew Rogers. That's 1 through 9 for Wareham tonight. Randall hit .258 for the Gatemen this summer, .718 OPS. The lefty out of Ole Miss. He's got 1 home run. Doesn't showcase a whole lot of pop. Typically a gap-to-gap hitter. Team lead in doubles with 11. It seems to be, Corey, that when Randall is clicking, the rest of the offense kind of just follows suit. 2-0 pitch. Misses outside. Randall's worked it up to 3 balls and no strikes for the first at-bat.
He sets the tone. You saw it in the regular season finale, the leadoff double. His team scored 3 runs then following suit in that top of the first.
3-0 down the middle. Yeah, Gateman put up a 3 spot in the regular season finale against Hyannis. And then after that, that was it. That was the end of the scoring for both teams. Ended as a 3-0 Gateman win. And now Haug has worked it back full.
And Randall's been so terrific all summer long, even when he gets to 2 strikes. A guy who works the pitch count up, a lot of at-bats, even if he doesn't get on base. But a leadoff base runner for Gateman would be huge.
3-2, swing and a miss. Haug got back in the count, and he finished him off.
Really nice job to get back in that count, especially when you're facing a guy who's just such a prolific on-base threat at the top of the order. Got to have a lot of confidence in your pitches to fire a few consecutive in the strike zone, but he got the out right there.
Here's Chris Ramirez, the shortstop. Somebody that joined this Gateman team later on in the season. He's made his mark. That one skips away from Jack Natili. Alongside Natili, he's playing catch with Haug on the mound. On the infield for the Kettleers, Johnson, Farber, Matthews, and Beaver go third to first. In the outfield, it's Taggart Tyson, Caden Bogenpole, and Nolan Stevens left to right. 1-0 misses high. Ramirez quickly ahead. He's worked 3 walks in just a couple of games against the Kettleers, 3 to be exact. He's 5 for 8 on the summer against Kituitt. 2-0 from Haug is in for strike 1.
I think right now, if you're Wareham, looking at Haug, he's fallen behind the first 2 batters, but he's come back to find the strike zone after that, just knowing that even if you get ahead in the count, you're probably getting some to hit.
Strike 2.
Back-to-back fastballs just right at the knees. That's where Haug likes to put that pitch. He's not going to miss a ton up in the zone with that fastball, but still, you're going to see heaters in the zone that you might be able to hit.
2-2, back up the middle. 1-out single for Chris Ramirez, and the kid stays hot.
Those are those quick hands that we've seen from Ramirez, even with back-to-back called strikes. He was ready for that next offering. Now a luxury to have his speed on the base pass. That one just sat in the heart of the zone. Nice job by Ramirez to just stay up through the middle, stay through it. You know, going into this game, Ryan Smythe had a couple different options of where to put for Ramirez, but slotted him into that second spot and reaping the benefits early on.
Ramirez has some speed. He's 4th on the team in swipe bags in just 17 games. He's got 9 of them total. Certainly a chance to put him in motion with Chris McHugh up to bat. Got a big lead at first. Stays put. And it's 1-1.
Don't want to overemphasize anything, but I think when you look at how successful the Gatemen have been with early leads this summer, scoring first and maybe even a couple would be really big, especially when you have your ace and Josh Butler on the mound. It seems like when Wareham can get ahead early in games, everything just sort of starts to click after that.
Well, the one game that Wareham won against Kituitt at Spillane Field, it was 9-0 after just 2 innings. And it's 2-1. Good block from Natilli. Ramirez stays put.
And that kind of was that outlier game we talked about. A lot of low scores between these two squads. Just an offensive explosion, especially by the Gatemen in that game. The way the pitching is slotted, not sure if we'll see something like that in these playoffs, but you never know. Right now, Hogs struggling a little bit to find the plate consistently.
Is 2-1. Strike 2. Good fastball at 89. McHugh hit 250 this season. Check over not in time. But he had an 809 OPS. 7 doubles and 5 home runs. Just 1 off the team lead. Big lead. There goes Ramirez. That's going to hit McHugh right on the hip. Runner in motion doesn't matter. Gatemen have 2 on and 1 out.
And for a guy in Chase Cruson that has just been a hit machine as of late, this is the situation you dream about if you're Ryan Smythe in the first inning. Only 1 out, 2 guys on. Part of the order due up. And the guy on the mound in Haug, who's typically so consistent and deliberate with his pitching in terms of finding the plate consistently, a guy who can pitch deep into the games. And even no matter what the end result of this inning is, you're in a situation now where his pitch count is already going to be elevated.
He's faced just 3 batters, already thrown as many pitches as Butler did in the first inning. He got 16, just 8 strikes. Here's 17. Fly ball center field, Bogan pull in, it's going to drop. Ramirez gets the stop sign and the Gatemen play station to station. Wareham with bases loaded and 1 out here in the first.
And that's the thing with Cruson. Some of these hits are line drives. Others are just kind of fisted in the outfield, but he's a contact-first guy, and you'll take him any way he can deliver them. Good read by both Ramirez and McHugh to recognize that ball was dropping.
And who else would you rather have up with the bases loaded than Caden McDonald? First pitch gets away. I mentioned McHugh 1 off the team lead with 5 home runs. That's because McDonald has 6. The two-way star has been right at the heart of the Gatemen's success this entire season. And he's ahead 2-0. And now Natilli trying to talk Haug down.
It's just kind of been a different look for Haug. A guy who's so consistent with his location has just missed a great deal in this first inning. 3-ball count to Randall. Ramirez had 2 balls on him. He hit McHugh. Cruson just kind of ambushed him, but now here you are in a really tough spot. Nowhere to put McDonald. 2-0 count. Stay within yourself at the plate, but at some point sooner or later you're probably going to see a pitch in the zone.
McDonald against Kituitt, 2 for 11 with 3 strikeouts this summer. Rocketed over to third. It's caught in the air. Nice play from Camden Johnson. That one's so close to skipping. 2 away.
Just a tough break for McDonald and the Gatemen. This one was kind of in on the hands. He didn't get a huge piece of it. Exit velocity was down a little bit, but still a tough play to make. Reaction time for Johnson there is limited at third base, and so now here we go. Back-to-back innings or half innings to start this one. One team had a runner on at third, less than 2 outs. Let's see if the Gatemen can come through.
First pitch to Colby Turner is a breaking ball down the middle for strike one. McDonald has struggled a little bit against the Kettleers. Talked about that. Colby Turner, on the other hand, 2 home runs, 9 RBIs. And a big spot to put Wareham in front early. The 0-1. This might also be the question, too, Corey, is what pitcher loses command so much that something gets past one of these 2 great defensive catchers in Jack Natili and Drew Rogers. Haug has been away from the zone, but for the most part, it's been up. 1-1 outside.
And you can see Chris Ramirez on at third for the Gatemen, really getting the sense of how close Johnson's going to play him to the bag because his secondary lead's going to be so important. Limited backstop room at Spillane Field, so we'll see if he goes on any wild pitch potentially.
2-1 to Turner. This is inside. 3 balls and a strike. Nowhere to put Colby Turner.
Here we go. Early spot, 2 outs, but you got a guy with light tower power in Colby Turner. Hitters count. It's a fastball count. We'll see what Haug offers with the bases loaded.
The 3-1 on the outside corner. And a full count pitch coming up to Turner. He was halfway out of the box and down the line.
Haug just made a great pitch outside corner, not where Turner wanted that baseball, but he gets another opportunity here.
Payoff pitch. Misses outside. An RBI the easy way for Colby Turner, and the Gatemen strike first in game 1.
He tried to go right back to that same exact spot on the outside corner, but he just missed off the plate. 2 really close pitches, that one going the way of the Gatemen.
Bases remain loaded for Wareham with Hayden Yost, the 7-hitter, coming up to bat. McHugh, Cruson, and Turner, third to first on the paths. First pitch, fouled off down the third baseline. Big spot for Yost. His bat has just awoken as of late. Seems like every game. Another big hit for the center fielder. At one point, he was on a 10-game hit streak that ended in the loss to Falmouth back on Saturday, but his bat has really come alive for this Wareham offense. And a big spot for him. Fly ball left field. That's trailing away from Tyson. He makes a diving grab. What a catch from Taggart Tyson in left field. And just like that, 1 run doesn't look so bad for the Kettleers. What a play in left for Cotuit. And the Gatemen going to be a little disappointed to only come away with 1. But either way, Wareham on top 1-0 heading into the second inning on Cape League TV.